Hey, everybody, it's Patrick
And I'm Greg.
with the next in our series of Advent Calendar Reveals featuring retro computers that we've all used.
All right, excellent. What do we have today, Patrick?
So, today, Greg, we have the final piece in our Trinity series, the TRS 80 model, what was now called the Model 1. It was just the TRS 80 computer.
And yes, it is the first one it's the only one of the Trinity that actually uses the Z80 processor rather than the MOS 6502.
Yep. So, it's more in line with that one of the very first computers we talked about, the MSI or Altair 8800.
Yes, it is.
Well, we take a look at a couple of the ads that Radio Shack, a Tandy corporation, put together for this machine.
You've heard or read about low-cost personal computers. Today, you can see and buy the price leader, Radio Shack's famous under $600 system. Learn how computing can benefit your business, profession, record-keeping, and your education. Come into your nearby Radio Shack today. You will be convinced. The TRS 80 personal computer system, only $599, built and serviced by Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
For those parents who realize that $600 isn't too much to spend to expand their child's world, Radio Shack has the perfect gift. The TRS 80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use. Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS 80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Greg, what did you think of those commercials?
Well, I love watching the old commercials. I never owned one or used one. $599 price is equivalent to about $3,000 in today's money. The base unit with that price only had 4K again, but it was available between 4 and 48K of memory.
There's you see where the TV's sitting now?
Yeah.
There was an expansion unit that fit underneath the TV that plugged with a ribbon cable into the back, and the expansion unit did several things, one of which was gave you the extra memory, but it's also how you plugged into disk drives and printers and that kind of thing.
Yes. It used TRS DOS, LDOS, New DOS, and Level 1 Basic. And of course, like we said before, it was the Z80 by Zilog.
Yeah, which was popular in a lot of CPM systems, although this system didn't technically run CPM. I know there are people who have made some modifications so that it could. Later versions of TRS 80s actually could run CPM because they're based on that Z80 chip.
And that chip has been used for a long time. I think they only just started winding it down.
Yeah, because it's still used in embedded devices today.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the most well-known to program to, especially in assembly language, which you might do for control machines. The other thing I found interesting, I thought you would find interesting, is the computer is basically in that keyboard. That's where the Z80 is and all the connectors. And it reminds me of what became the Commodore 64. It's sort of the same shape. And
yes, it's bread bin is what they call the 64. So yeah, it's very similar style.
Yeah, one motherboard that's hiding all beneath the keyboard, which is why the keyboard is so thick compared to what we use today.
You're right. One other thing I would like to add as we wrap up this look at the Trinity, Commodore and Apple both really made a name for themselves by either outright giving or massive discounts to schools. I think the only reason TRS 80 made it as far as they did, because they were in every mall. There was a Radio Shack in every mall across America at that point. I think that had a lot to do with their success at that point.
Well, they did get some traction in the schools once they came out with the Model 3. One of the problems with the Model 1 and the way it was designed, I think it had the RF interference problems. It needed to be shielded. Whereas the Apple II was shielded to a degree, and the Commodores were shielded, for home use. And you could get different rules for different places, but this system just wasn't conducive to the schools yet. When they came out with the Model 3, it became something, and they started doing the same discounts and got it into the schools.
Gotcha. Well, one thing I'm looking forward to is as we go through this timeline, we're going to have lots more options for commercials instead of just pamphlets and stuff to look at. So it's going to get better.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it as well. Hope you like this latest reveal on our advent calendar of retro computers. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you want to keep watching, hit that subscribe button. And if you hit the bell, you'll get notified every time we have a new episode.
And if you haven't watched all of the videos in this series, there should be a link on your screen so you can go to our advent calendar playlist and see past episodes.